Hey everyone, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. This is Silver Hyena, and what I have for today's video, I am finally getting to these Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay inks. And I believe these are India inks. I've only had this sitting in my closet for, what, 6 months? Probably more by the time I finally get this video uploaded, so it has been a hot while, but I have finally decided it is time to break these puppies open. So without further ado, too late, I know, I'm gonna get to that. This is very hard to do with one hand. Just a sec. Alright. Oh, wow, that is some noisy plastic. Anyways, we have a small informational thingy here. Not quite a pamphlet, an informational sheet. Good enough. And I have to say, that is absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna keep that. Ooh. Okay, so they do include one eyedropper thingy, which it's like, eyedroppers are a very handy thing to keep on hand if you do wet medium. Bzz. And I figure I've got my water here for cleaning this thingy out, so I'm just gonna grab one of these, like this yellow. I'm gonna shake it up. It looks like it's separated a little bit just because it's been sitting for a while, but seems like it sorts out real good. Light, fast, and waterproof. Pigmented, holds a line without spreading, flows smoothly, non-clogging, non-toxic. I'm pretty sure that these things were made with like ink pens in mind. Like they've got a pen cleaner here, so. But I got some brushes that these are for watercolor. I figured that these are close enough, and I just got a whole new set of brushes just in case they have a bad effect on the brushes I love to use for watercolors. So even more, and I've got my nice porcelain palette, and I've got a backup for mixing. This set comes with mostly your primaries, and then you've also got brown, and it comes with 3 black and a white. Now then, it's like there's a lot of black, but again, I think that's because, well, it's got like calligraphy pens in mind, not YouTubers who do weird things for views in mind, but that's what I'm using them for. So I'm very curious about this because I have never used India ink before. Not this kind. Anyway, okay, so no seal to pull off. So I'm just gonna put a very small amount like that. Oh yes, I almost forgot to mention, I have some dirt cheap watercolor paper that I've used once before. Yes, I've determined it's crap, but I figure I can swatch on it without risk. And I've also got this stuff, which is I could not say this word, but it's designed for alcohol ink, so you can try to pronounce that word if you want, but I think it's becoming something that I might not be allowed to say on YouTube, so I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna finish with setting up my palette, and then it's time to just splatter color on paper and see what happens. Alrighty, so black is the odd one out, and I didn't bother putting any of the white ink out just because, well, I'm using white paper. But I'm curious to see how this... Ooh, that is nice. That is some nice rich color. And there goes my brother again. Yeah, like the other thing I'm curious about is how well this stuff plays with water. Like right now it's being very similar to, well, watercolor. Alrighty, so I'm gonna finish swatching these out, and then I was gonna play around on this other pad of paper and just see what happens. Okay, so here are the swatches all done, and I have to say that the colors are just beautiful. I love how they turned out. It was a lot like watercolor, although this particular paper, well, as you can see, it is buckling like you would not believe. Actually, you would believe. You're watching it happen right now. Anyways, I took the liberty of pulling out a sheet from that Dura-Bright white specialty paper, and yeah, this is a lot thicker. It's also completely smooth now then, because like it's first sheet, and first sheet always has trouble. Well, I figured that this is a perfect swatch page, and it is not behaving. It's really not behaving. Bad paper. But I'm just gonna do random freehand things on here just because I can. And I want to use up this ink. Although, maybe just before I do anything, I want to see how pencil will work on it. Okay, well, like, not super spectacular, but I can at least sketch on this, because this stuff, it's for alcohol inks, spray, acrylics, but it doesn't, it's waterproof. That's what I'm curious about. So I also want to try out, say, a Faber-Castell pen, which is Indian ink. So, okay, well that seems to write on there just fine and dandy. I'm gonna just pull the rest of these out. I'm gonna end up using them anyway. Wow. I think I probably should have checked these brushes more, but that's beside the point. My own silly fault. Anyways. So I've got a bit of a confession to make here. When I began filming this video, I didn't even bother to do any sort of research on India inks. At all. Yeah, and on top of that, smooth brain moment. Throughout this video, I was getting India ink and alcohol ink mixed up. I do apologize for that. So I'm pretty much swatching these things on the wrong darn paper. It said it's for alcohol ink, not India ink. So bottom line, don't do what I did. Go ahead, roast me in the comments if it'll make you feel better about yourself. However, despite using the wrong paper, I still had fun with these inks. Now I should see about getting some alcohol inks and trying them out. Yeah, because I certainly don't have enough things I already gotta review. Okay, moving on. When I actually did look up some vids on painting with India ink, I noticed that most artists just use watercolor paper. I know later on towards the end of this video, I mentioned doing an illustration on this paper. Ignore that. Enlightenment has found me. Smooth brain and self-roasting aside, here are some important things to know about India ink. Staining. These things stain. Like, really stain. Do not wear your Sunday finest while working with these. Also make sure that your floors, walls, favorite mug, etc. is also protected before you begin. Once these inks dry, that's it. They don't re-wet. This follows up with the staining situation. Remember, while they can be used in a similar fashion to watercolors, that they are not watercolors. They do not reactivate when wet. I see this as a mixed blessing, personally. Overall, I love the vibrant colors in this set, and despite my rocky start with these inks, I'm looking forward to trying these out in an actual illustration. Oh boy, I think I have just made a mess, but you know what? I had fun making that mess. This probably looks like something that a caffeinated kindergartner would have done, but you know what? Again, I was just enjoying myself, and it really gives a nice view of the colors and this paper. I am on the fence with this. I really am. I am trying to figure out if I like this paper or not, because the effects I'm getting, it's one of those mixed blessings sort of things. Like, I might need to try these out on better watercolor paper on top of it, but yeah, I'm just kind of in that not quite sure what to think yet phase. But you know what? I am gonna be doing an illustration on this, and then I'm really gonna see where this lands. But in the meantime, I'm gonna save that for the second video, because this one has already gone way over what I originally intended. Huge shock. I know. I mean, me losing track of the time. It's unheard of. Anyways, with that being said, I certainly hope that you have enjoyed this video and that it encourages you to try out new art supplies. And if you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd love you if you do that. I love all of my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I also love anybody who leaves a like. You guys are also awesome. Anyways, with that being said, this is Silver Hyena signing off. Stay creative, everybody, and I will see you in part 2. So, bye!